Hello everyone, it's a new episode of 401 Community Story, and today we have EDGEZ. Thank you very much for joining us today for this interview. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. Thank you for asking.
Amazing. I'm so excited to learn more about you and to hear your story and to learn more about your professional and creative development within the industry. So let's get it started. Could you please introduce yourself a little bit and just share some information about yourself and your story?
Yeah. I'm EDGEZ. I live in Nashville, Tennessee. I'm an electro pop singer, songwriter, and producer. And I love what I do, and I do it a love, and I'm really grateful to be here.
I'm always super interested to, find out the reason why people choose music as their main career, right? Usually people say, this is what I want to do. I like breathe with it. And I'm like, yeah, but could you please share like a backstory, maybe when you were a child and somebody played violin and were like, wow, I want to do the same, something like that. So how about you? Why
Yeah.
did you choose
Um,
music as your main career?
yeah, well, I grew up in a musical family. My father was actually an artist on a record label called Sun Records in Memphis. I grew up in Jackson, Mississippi, and so I grew up with him as a blues and R&B singer, songwriter, and producer. And so that's what I grew up around. And he was a huge influence. So I grew up with artists coming in and out of my home. I grew up around studios. It just was kind of part of my childhood. And so it came natural to me as a young child. They caught me playing the piano after my dad had left the piano. They were like confused, my parents, and they were like, "Who's playing the piano?" And they realized that 3-year-old me was. So it was kind of a crazy little story.
That's a great story. Cool. And you know, having music, being in the music industry and having a music career can be challenging. There are many things you face, right? And sometimes you get a fight, some obstacles. And what do you find the most challenging in your career as an artist and musician yourself?
Just getting heard and seen is always such a challenge, and putting yourself out there as an indie artist. I mean, when you don't have a record label behind you, you don't have people. It can be really hard. I mean, I got introduced to y'all by my own hustle, just emailing people randomly, and that really is how I actually got started. And I mean, I think if you try to create the best stuff you can, and hopefully someone will take a bite of it. So that's definitely been a challenge, but it's starting to work out really well. So I can't complain.
And you mentioned you started working with 401 Music Group. How long ago did you start working?
I want to say it's been like 8 months. So I'm somewhat new to y'all. It's like 8 or 9 months. I think I turned in my first project. So I'm fairly new to y'all, and I'm thrilled to be working with y'all.
Me too. Really, really excited. I listened to your album. I really loved it. And maybe you could share a little bit about the process behind the creation of this album and oh, how all that happened and how you came up with the lyric and stuff.
Yeah, I had a really good time making it. It was actually started when COVID first happened. And when COVID first hit, one thing that really bothered me on the news was that they were making it so political. And from that was born my song Come Together. And I was like, why can't we just meet in the middle? And I mean, it was frustrating to me. And that's why I wrote Come Together. Let's come together. And so that was part of the idea for that song. And Rogue was really born out of just wanting to be myself and not try to emulate anything out there and just have fun with it. And I've been exploring rap and R&B and everything that I love about music in this project. And I think that was really my aim, was to explore lots of genres into one, especially rap. I really I didn't realize how much I loved rap
Wow.
until about 5 years ago, and I started really exploring how much I loved it. And like my song "Crazy" was really a really fun one to make because I was just like really going for it. Coming at you crazy. So I've just really put it out there. I've no holds barred on this project, and I've had a really good time making it.
Sweet. Sounds like a very interesting journey for you. And you tried like
For
many things, and it's really cool to hear like that there were some particular ideas you wanted to convey with your music. And uh, my next question would be, what would you advise to young aspiring like artists, musicians, um, if they want to succeed in the music industry?
yeah,
What they need to do? And
that's a great question. I think my answer to that would be just like figure out what you do that's maybe a little left of center than everyone else, and just go that way. I know for me, since I've been doing the sync world more, I've really found every extension possible of myself and explored that avenue. And it's been a real blast. So figuring out what it is that you do is important, and what you do maybe really well, and go for that. So yeah.
yeah, that's an amazing advice. Well, that was a very interesting conversation, and I inspire everyone to go and listen to um, EDGEZ album that we have on our For One Music Group website.
Listen,
And yes, and I'm super excited to see what we can come up with in the future and what projects we can do together. So, thank you very much for joining us today. It was a great conversation, and I'm wishing you the best. And I'll see you later.
oh, thank you so much. Good talking to you.
Bye.
Bye.
Can we move a little in a new direction?